Hello, I'm Althea Graney. Welcome to this special program about Simsbury High School and an exciting event being hosted by the music department. Our guests are Lisa Abel, Simsbury High School band director, and high school students Tim Recken, Kavya Bana. Could you please tell us about the exciting event that's coming up in the music department at Simsbury High School, Lisa?
Yes, the world-renowned Dallas Brass will be in residency at Simsbury High School on April 25th. The Dallas Brass is a brass quintet plus a percussionist who work with students and perform all around the world.
Wow, that sounds exciting. How did you learn about the Dallas Brass and what they will bring to the school?
The Dallas Brass have had a stellar reputation in the community for over 30 years. They have worked with many schools all over the country, they perform all over the world, and they were the featured performing group at the National Association for Music Education Conference, which was held in Hartford last year. I was fortunate to be able to develop some professional relationships with them, and we decided to incorporate them into our district band event this year.
Wow, that's exciting. Just a side note, did Simsbury High School participate in that event in Hartford as a performing artist?
We did not perform. It was mostly for music teachers all down the East Coast.
Okay.
But we did have several students participate in a student leadership event, which Kavya is going to tell you a little bit more about later.
Okay, great. Thank you. So how will students be involved in this particular event?
The Dallas Brass will be with us all day that Friday, and students from the high school and the middle school will both participate in rehearsals during the day. And then also there will be clinics for the high school and middle school students where the Dallas Brass talk about performing and give them tips. And the elementary students will even have their own special concert talk in the afternoon. So they have some time with the Dallas Brass as well.
So the elementary students are being bused to the high school for this particular event, or is Dallas Brass just going to the elementary schools?
The Dallas Brass will be basically living in the auditorium at Simsbury High School that day. Okay. But the elementary students are going to come along with their parents after school at 4 o'clock to be able to have this, we call it the elementary experience. So they get their own sort of private concert and get to talk and ask questions of the performers. And the middle and high school students are actually really excited that they've been invited to perform along with the Dallas Brass on 2 pieces for the concert as well.
Okay, so if I remember correctly, having been in the band ages and ages and ages ago, not in Simsbury, but so you've been working with the students in the high school, I would assume, and the middle school band director's been working with the middle school students for these 2 particular pieces?
Yes.
All right.
Yes.
Great. I'm sure everybody's so excited.
Yes.
What are the students most excited about as the event approaches?
I think Tim will give you a little bit more of the student perspective.
All right.
Well, as Mrs. Abel mentioned earlier, we are very excited about for the clinics that she mentioned. Mm-hmm. We have a couple small ensembles ready to perform for the Dallas Brass, and we will get feedback on how we did, and hopefully some constructive criticism on how we could play better next time.
Wow, that sounds exciting. So you are in a special ensemble, or are you part of a larger group, or is it both?
Well, students in the band program, in the larger band program at Simsbury High School, made individual, smaller ensembles consisting of anywhere from probably 5 to 10 people. And we have a couple of those groups ready for this event.
Wow, nice. Are you going to be performing just for Dallas Brass when you perform? Are you performing for some of the students also at the same time?
I think other students will be there.
Okay, fantastic. Good. So when is the concert and what can people expect?
The concert is at 7 p.m. on April 25th. Okay. You can expect a wide variety of music, dating back from old, very American folk songs through modern pop music and movie soundtrack music such as The Incredibles.
That's a lot. That's a very large repertoire. And Dallas Brass is performing all this, or the high school and middle school students are performing it? Well, I know you've got 2 pieces that you're performing with Dallas Brass.
Right.
Obviously, your 2 pieces don't span that whole spectrum.
Well, for the most part, the band is working on a piece to play with the Dallas Brass that is American folk music.
Nice. So more people will recognize it and
exactly.
be able to move with it and kind of feel the rhythm, so to speak.
Yes. Exactly.
Fantastic. Kavya, I understand that you went to a leadership conference, as we spoke about earlier, where the Dallas Brass presented to a group of students. Could you tell us just a little bit about the leadership conference and then what Dallas Brass presented to you?
Yeah, the leadership conference was actually in Hartford of last year, and in the morning we had like a motivational speaker speak to us, and then in the afternoon we did some like team activities together that got us like bonding as a group and learn more about teamwork. The Dallas Brass also played in the afternoon, and I loved that experience. I've never seen a professional group live before, and it was really, to have the Dallas Brass play there, they were extremely impressive for me. Also, they have a great stage presence, so they like were able to incorporate the audience into what they were doing, and they were also really humorous, and I was laughing and smiling the entire time.
Wow, sounds great. I've never seen or heard anything about Dallas Brass. Could you just tell us maybe a little bit about, is it a very large group, small group? How would you describe them?
It's a brass quintet, so it's 5 brass players and then a percussionist, but they switch off instruments while they're playing, and they incorporate a lot of different things that
sounds
you wouldn't expect.
Crazy, right?
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, I'm playing the trumpet. Oh, nope, now I'm playing what? The saxophone, maybe? No, the saxophone's not a brass.
Yeah.
No, it's all brass, right?
It's all
so it would
brass.
be trombone,
Yep.
the cornet or trumpet.
Yeah, the trumpet.
That's 2 of them.
Tuba, euphonium, multiple trumpets.
What's a euphonium?
French horn. Looks like a smaller tuba.
Oh,
It's
okay.
another low brass instrument.
Okay. So, and they just switch off between these multiple instruments.
Yes.
That's talent. Okay. Simsbury also partnered with the Dallas Brass last year on a community project. What was that project about?
The founder of Dallas Brass, Mike Levine, he had the experience a couple years ago. He went into a senior home, and he was playing for some of the residents there. And he was just amazed at how they all sort of flocked to that live music, and they were so happy, and they were dancing and singing, and they recognized a lot of the tunes that were being played. And so he decided he really would like to have students get involved and try and encourage students to get out into their community and bring music to people that can't necessarily come to the school concerts. They presented this idea to the students at the leadership conference, and my students actually came to me and said, can we please be part of the pilot program? And Mike Levine was thrilled to have us involved. They provided us with music, a lot of folk music, in different arrangements so the students could self-organize into small groups with flexible instrumentation. And then through the Music Honor Society, Triumph Music Honor Society, the students really planned the event. Even if they weren't performing, they went and tried to interact with the senior citizens. So overall, it's just a really positive way to encourage young people to get out in their community.
Fantastic. That sounds like just something so exciting, especially for the seniors that they're kind of stuck there. You know, they really can't get around. So having young people come in and sing, that's just awesome. Thanks. So, Kavya, how were you involved in that group, and what was the outcome of the project?
I was actually one of the students that went to go play at McLean, which was last spring, and we had a group of about like 50 or 60 people go, which was a very large group, but the residents loved having us there. We played like their arrangements of American folk tunes, and they were like jazzed up, and one of the arrangements that we played was for a jaka, and we had the senior citizens snapping along with what we were playing. We also had a similar performance at the Governor's House this past month, and that was also really exciting for us too.
Wow, fantastic. Did you get any feedback from the seniors after you finished performing?
They loved it. People were singing along while we were playing too, because they were American folk tunes.
Yeah, so everybody recognizes them, and it was just, and I imagine it was a really great experience for them because it brought back probably a lot of memories of their growing up and them singing the songs in their school time, you know, era, and just seeing you young people and everything was probably just awesome.
Yeah.
Great. It sounds like the Dallas Brass are really committed to students and encourage them to share their music.
Yes, they're a fantastic performing group, but they're really committed to working with students, developing their musicianship, and beyond that, they don't just present this concert. They really are great examples of showmanship. As Kavya said, they're funny. They incorporate choreography and little musical jokes and things like that. So it's a great model for the students, in addition to learning how to play their instruments better, just being an overall performer. So we're just very excited. We know it's going to be a great show, and we just hope the community comes out and joins us.
So you're saying the community can come to this show? It's not just something that's being put on for the students to get better. It's actually an entertaining event for the community also?
Right. It's a Friday night out for the residents of Simsbury. And we're even inviting people from other towns and some of the local colleges. Everyone that comes to see this group is just amazed, and they're so entertained. And the fact that it's a Friday night is even better. So everyone's always looking for something to do on a Friday night.
Exactly.
So the tickets are only $10.
All right.
And we're hoping that the community comes out and supports our event. They can be purchased through the Simsbury High School website, or by calling our ticket line, which is phone number is 658-0451. The extension is 991. And we just would like to see everybody there and have a full house.
Okay. Now, I actually went out to the website to look for that information. So if people want to go to the website, it's the simsbury.k12.ct.us. And then you actually have to click on the high school page to get to the Dallas Brass information. And it was a little confusing for me, then I just want to clear it up for our audience, is that you actually fill out a form to request the tickets, and then the tickets get mailed?
They can be mailed, or they can be picked up at the high school. We'll also have will call the night of the concert, so people can order them ahead of time and just show up for the event, and we'll have the tickets there waiting for you.
Okay. So, and for anybody that's not, web savvy, an older person or even a younger person who maybe doesn't have a computer, they could just call that number, which is the 658-0451,
extension 998.
991.
991, yes.
So, okay, great. So it's music basically from folk music, early American folk music, all the way up to modern?
Yes.
That's going to be, how long is the concert? It starts at 7 o'clock?
I don't have the specific time. I think it's at least an hour and a half with an intermission. And it really just sort of brings a lot of things together. They do play a lot of medleys, so sometimes you'll hear early music all the way through current times in the span of 3 minutes, which is even more entertaining in how they put all of that together.
That's great. That's great. And Tim and Kavya, are you performing at this particular show?
Yeah, we're actually playing a piece together with the Dallas Brass, so we'll be in the band.
All right. All right. So anybody can go and they'll see you performing along with Dallas Brass. How large is the group of students that are performing with Dallas Brass? Is it like a large group or a smaller group?
The full high school band is performing, all of the ensembles together.
Oh my.
So we'll have quite a few people on the stage. And then from the middle school, it was really for the students who were interested and willing to prepare the music. So I believe there are about 60 middle school students who will be performing also.
That's a lot of people to put up on that stage.
Yes. It'll be creatively done, so even more interesting to come and see.
Absolutely. I'm trying to picture this, and it's like, my mind is getting blown.
There are risers involved, and it'll be very exciting.
Be very careful. Be very careful, very safe when you get up on that stage. Awesome. Anything else anybody wants to share about this particular event or what's coming up, or Dallas Brass? Anything?
We're just very excited that it's a way to bring all of the band students together from elementary all the way through high school. Some of our students have been going down and working with some of the elementary students on some of these folk tunes to just get them excited and have them see what they can do if they progress through the music program.
Wow.
So it's just a great way for all the kids to connect.
Yeah, I mean, this sounds like a great mentoring program, not only from Dallas Brass down to the high school students, but the high school students to the middle school students, and the high school and middle school students to the elementary students. So that's great, because it's like this great big hug. But, okay. That sounds great. It sounds like a fun event for everyone. The Dallas Brass and our own middle and high school students perform on April 25th at 7 p.m. in the Simsbury High School Auditorium. Thanks, Lisa Abel. Tim Recken and Kavya Bana for sharing your enthusiasm for music and information about Dallas Brass with us today. If you'd like more information or to purchase tickets, please visit www.simsbury.k12.ct.us. Go to the high school page and click on Dallas Brass, or call the ticket line at 860-658-0451, extension 991. I'm Althea Graney. Our camera operator for this show is Nick Sankori. Karen Hanville was our director. Thank you for watching SCTV.
Funding for Simsbury Community Television is provided in part by contributions from viewers like you. Thank you.